and we are back. Welcome to this week's live stream. I'm your host, Mike, and we are going to, let's wrap up where we were at last week. We built the fuselages last week. Did find a little bit of a problem with the formers here. The firewalls were actually probably pretty accurate. The rest of the formers were thinned up quite a bit, so that's why I had, if you remember last week on the firewall, the width was off, so I had to do a little bit of fine tuning. I'll show you. I worked a little bit of this off camera and got the fuse and that mounted up. So that's where we're at now. And I'll show you what I got done here. Hi, Tom. Hey, good afternoon. So I had to do a little fiddling because my fuselages didn't end up in the right spot or the right width for the hold downs. And I ended up having to take some of the doubler out to get them to fit because I was like 1/8 of an inch off. So a few little problems, but we're making way. How's everybody doing today? But yeah, so anyways, in this week, what we are going to do is we're going to keep going with this. I kind of got the plan to get the bottom sheeted up and start on our hatches. And I got a little surprise for you guys over here at the CNC router one later on in the live stream here. So what we're going to use for the bottom sheeting, probably something kind of thick. About some of this 3/16 or quarter inch, yeah. The other thing I did is I went ahead and when you're doing a twin, it's a good idea to kind of get an idea of what fuse is going to be left and right. So because my wing hold downs are different from left to right, I fine-tuned them so I made this one the left fuse and the other one right fuse, and I marked it on there which one it is. Which one is what? So the bottom is, I got a little bit of sanding to do to make sure things are flat. Did you guys have a good New Year's? I know I did. It was a good time. I always go front to back or side to side here on my for strength. Oh, I was just going to talk about that. So you can go lengthways if you want and do the whole bottom sheeting. I think you get a little bit more rigidity going cross grain on the bottom. That's how I always do it because it's real easy to bend this way, but when you go this way, it's not. And to me, you're trying to stop it from collapsing on itself. So that's how I do the sheeting. And I'm not going to go all the way to the firewall here. I'm going to start behind it because I do plan on adding the cowl former on the bottom like the plans show. Yep. And then the other thing that I do when I'm sheeting is when I'm sheeting like this, I mark where my last piece is going to land. And that way I know where to add the glue at and where to stop, so I'm not wasting CA. Actually, this is 1/8 inch. Oops. Oh yeah. Yeah, I like using and that's why I put the tri-stock down in the corners too, up towards the front here, because then you can really round off you can really get in there and round everything out, make it look nice. And I'm just roughing this in for the most part. I mean, we'll sand all these corners off and everything. So the next question is now that we're getting back here to the back, you can see where my tri-stock kind of ends, and this is where my hatch is going to be. Now it doesn't need to be this big, so I'm just going to let this land where it lands, and then when we put the hatch in here, I'll have a way to tongue it, and then I won't have to put much hold downs in the back, and then I'll put a piece of 3-inch here, and this will be my hatch for the elevator and rotor servos. I do notice that I got a little bit of sanding to do here to kind of blend this together. Now I want to make sure that I'm not because I have nothing back here, that I don't have a taper or anything going in towards the back, so yeah, just a touch. So what I'll do is I come up here. I'll actually use the front here to mark my piece out, so that way I can line the fuselage sides up. Make sure they're parallel. See how they want to taper into each other here a little bit. Oh, went good. I don't know if you guys saw the video or yet not. I did post the video up. It was the freeze fly was a lot of fun. I broke the pogo stick though. I gotta fix it. Okay, so there we go. You can see I'm gonna build a hatch in here. And that'll be where one elevator and one rudder server will land. Was kind of upset that Annabelle didn't get the Telemaster with the skis on it. So that was fun to get back out. I put a video up about flying on the freeze fly on Friday, I think it was. Some of these farmers are a little proud here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the trailer did pretty good. I took my my club has a generator, but it doesn't like the cold weather. So I took my generator out there and my torpedo heater. We went through a couple gallons of fuel, but it kind of made everybody a little warmer. I think the temperature when we were out there was like 19 degrees, so a chilly one. I'll put a little bit of Sensei on the joints here. That part to me doesn't really matter a whole lot. If you're just now joining us, we are sheeting the bottom of the fuselage on the Wonder. We've already got one done here, working on the next one. Now, if you guys stick around towards the end of the live stream here, I got something set up to show you on my CNC router. You're gonna get lucky here. No, that's a little too small. Okay. That side came out a heck of a lot better. Okay. Now that we got that part of it done, well, that adds a lot of stiffness to the fuselage here. Let's go ahead and get, basically we need to get the inside structure done up, which involves the mounting plate for the quarter 20 bolts to go into. So we're going to make that on a 1/4 inch. I do believe I got some, I have any scrap quarter. Doesn't really look, well, maybe. Looks like 1/4 inch. Oh, hey Trevor, how you doing, man? We are in the midst of the working on the fuselages on the Twin Wonder. So, anyways, we'll get a couple pieces here cut out. I'm going to start kind of on the big side here. That's awesome. I don't think there's a straight piece of wood on there. Yeah, let's start somewhere here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna take this over to my my sander and try to tree this thing up a little bit. We only really truly need two right angles here, and I got that already. And then we can, since we started big, then we can go off one of our trued edges here to make a straight line so I can cut it. Kind of like that. And of course, my line's like a drunken sailor, and it's pretty crooked. Oh, yeah. I got a little bit more trimming here to do to make it fit. There we go. And then I'll prep the other chunk that I got and get this one cut out to fit. You got a little bit of a pocket in here for this thing to fit, so I'm just making it, even if it's just a little on the small side. We'll put some tri-stock underneath here to give these wing blocks a lot more support over there. I don't have much to take off, so I'm going to take that over to my sander. Yeah. It's nice having everything in one spot for sure. Oh, there's the other side. That's a nice fit. So we'll keep them straight here. And I have some tri-stock here, so I'll cut some small pieces of tri-stock. Trying to get you a better angle here. There you go. I'm just cutting enough to give myself a little bit of a shelf here to have some extra rigidity. Okay. Oh yeah, you sure will. There you go. And then I'm just going to line this stuff up with the bottom of the cutout here. And the biggest thing when you're adding a little bit of structure like this in there, you don't have to be dead accurate here with the gaps, with how equal you are with, like, say, that cutout right there. Okay, you just don't want to be proud to pick your plate up. Would be better to be lower than to be up. Hey, how's it going, Chris? Pleasure to have you finally. We are working on the Twin Wonder, and I am currently installing the wing hold down blocks into the fuze with some tri-stock reinforcement underneath. There. Okay, so we got all that installed in there. You can see how much of a shelf that gives us. And like I said, this one here, if you look real close, you'll see a little bit of a, that the block is lower, but that's fine. It does not have to be super accurate there. So we'll let's see. Is there anything else that I need to epoxy in? Not really at the present. So we'll just go ahead and mix up a batch of 30-minute epoxy and get this started. So this is my resin. It's okay to mix to be a little off on your mixes here, but if anything, you either want to be equal or put a little bit more hardener in it. That looks pretty good right there. Just remember, you get strength from your joints being tight, not from the epoxy itself. So I'm just working in here a liberal amount on the bottom so it'll squeeze out. And I'm not sure if my tri-stock is completely down, so we can fill a little of the gap up with the epoxy. Like I said, I got a liberal amount in there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. All right. And we'll set that aside and let that dry. Looks like everything's nice and flat. And I think what I was going to work on next was getting the kind of the wingtip blocks. Well, no, I can't do that yet either because I don't have the ailerons installed. I can't do the ailerons because that's drying. Any questions? All right, so I had a question last week about my CNC router, about how hard it is to program and stuff. So I have been playing with it for, I don't know, what do you think, a couple months now, right? I think that's when Tom brought it up. And I've been getting a little better at it. I am no expert with Fusion 360 or anything like that, but if you guys, in the future wanted me to do how I do it, then I wouldn't have a problem with that. But one of the best things about having a CNC router is being able to. No, I did not make it to Salina. I had to work Saturday, so that's usually the case. Anytime anything fun going on is, yeah, I got to work. So yeah, I did not make it up to Salina Sunday or Saturday morning. So, anyways, with the CNC router, the nice thing about that is being able to duplicate parts. So, this Twin Wonder is a very good place to do that at, because I mean, frankly, we're making 2 fuselages, so to cut well, we got 8 formers together. I spent a couple hours designing each former up, and then it took about 5 minutes to cut them out, and they were super accurate. And it was, especially that F2 was a lot more I would have been over at that scroll saw for quite a while to make all those little intricate cuts, put the hole in the center and all that. So I wouldn't say it's super fast, but it's definitely nice being able to draw that up on Fusion and then take it over to my CNC and set that up. So what I've done is because I think we're going to be, let's get a time frame going here on the Wonder. I think next weekend we will be probably setting up the wing to the fuse, getting that square, so that way I can keep building onto the tail, get the elevator and stabilizers done. So I'm starting to think about cutting those parts out. Now, as you guys know, I've enlarged this 25%. So the rudder, the stabilizer is no big deal. It's just a blank sheet of wood, cut the length, no real contours or anything put into it. But the rudders, they got our own unique shape. So give me a minute. So anyways, on the original, well, your connection is on. Wait while we try to reconnect. Right. Oh, are you back? Looks like we had a little bit of a glitch there. So anyways, the rudder shapes here, this is the one we're going with right here, the angel fin. And to enlarge this and get these shapes, yeah, it said connection was unstable. I don't know what's up with that. But to get these shapes and to enlarge it, you could take this to a printer copier. I don't think my scanner is quite big enough to get this whole piece, but you could do it that way and reprint it out 25% bigger, so you get all the curves in there. Or what I did is I took a picture of this with my phone. Now, it's not the best way to do it, but you can import the file into Fusion 360, and then you trace over top of it, and from there we get a rudder. I've already cut one out, and it took me about 45 minutes to go from taking the picture, Fusion 360, to this finished part here that we got that will be the rudder. Now, just to kind of get an idea of how much bigger this is, let's see if I can show this off a little bit. I mean, that thing is quite a bit bigger than the original, as you can see. Okay. So I thought it'd be kind of neat to show you guys. I already got a piece over here set up. See if I can get my camera to reach. It's just out of range. Okay, let's move this. Sorry about the bounciness. Okay, so the first thing you got to do when you're setting this thing up is you got to zero your axis here. And I kind of get it close. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pick up this point right here on my sheet of wood. This is all done by hand. I don't have end stops on this machine yet. Okay. My piece is a little bigger than what I need, so I do have a half inch or so of so then I go in and I reset, and this makes me my new zero. And then I got, so we'll click print. And it's not going to start yet because I got to plug it in. Oh, for sure. Yeah. This is going to get a little loud, so probably not going to hear me. This takes about 3 minutes to cut one of the rudders out, and I'll just get you in there so you can see it getting cut. That's kind of neat. It's going to take the cuts in 3 passes. get a better. I don't know if a spoil board would get me a better finish. This is not too bad. I'll show you what it looks like coming right off. Now, if I had a spoil board on here, which this is considered a spoil board, it's just a sheet of MDF, but the machine's attached to it. Then I wouldn't be so scared to not get into it. As you can see, in some of my first attempts, I did get into the board. That's definitely was a me problem. So I want to get some MDF on there, just so that way, because this is kind of what it looks like when it comes out. You can see where it got through some of it, but some of it didn't come through. But there again, this is so thin that it really just takes a little bit of a knife. Now, the way I held it was 2 pieces of masking tape, and I just CA'd it down. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, then you could take the Z-axis down lower. I've been thinking about getting some MDF that I don't really care about, just so I can. You got to remember, I'm still really new to this, but to me, like that, that's so thin. There ain't much there, and it only takes us a few seconds here with the knife to finish cutting it out. I've thought about using foam, MDF maybe, but to me and that's an IDC Woodcraft 1/8 inch downcut spiral bit running about 4,000 RPM is what that spindle's capable of. The thing I like about it is how fast I can go from an idea to a finished product with it. Now that I'm getting more used to it. Yeah, for sure. I mean, what do you think? I mean, would you put another sheet of MDF down, or would you go with maybe pink foam for a spoil board? With the MDF, I thought I could, once I got down into it and it became useless to use, I could refinish it. I do have some router bits under here. Like, I thought I had a bigger one. I guess I don't. But yeah, I'm still playing around with it. But I did all that. I don't know if I'll do laser cutting or 3D printing. I would like to. I would like to get into that. I think that a 3D printer and this would go hand in hand for making stuff. I don't want to get away from the basics of what I know and how to do. So I don't know that I would. Replace a lot of stuff, but like it'd be nice to have a 3D printer for this thing, because then I can make a dust collector. The dust is quite thick in here from just that little bit of cutting. And I'd like to play around with some smaller bits too. I know IDC makes like a 16th inch bit. But here is the nice thing. I mean, I can cut as many of these out as I want to. And they're identical. And I mean, I didn't have to get the saws out. I didn't have to transfer paper templates onto that. If a guy was building a really complicated model like what I'm probably going to get into next year, that makes it nice that I can do that. Like I said, it's not a time saver, but it's the accuracy levels are great. So I've cut that out with it. if you guys are following along with the Byron Ryan sheet out build, I cut all the ribs out for the Ryan, and I'm also doing the sweet and low stick. Let's see, what else can we do today? We've only been at it for not quite an hour. The reason why I put the 1/4 inch slot in these is because when I make my stabilizer, it's exactly 3 inches long. This one ain't the right sheet. But when I make my stabilizer, I'll make my first piece 3/16 inch longer on each side. And that's going to key my rudder into my stabilizer, or my stabilizer into my rudder. And then the rest of the pieces will just fall along back here. And it'll give me a place to make this accurate. So if you can imagine, I'm going to clear some stuff out of the way here. That's going to be what it's like. Come on, don't fall off. Maybe. Oh, come backwards. Something like that. Now the rudder's going to get longer because we'll add probably a 1 inch rudder off to the back of that. This is crazy. Yeah. I had to do a little bit of a mock up there. Yeah, I like it. Like I said, there's going to be a little bit of a gap. Let's see. Oh, for heaven's sakes. I'll twist it up. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So we're going to leave a little bit of a gap between the rudder and the side of the fuselage there. So, and it's back. It gives me a screen on here that, and then we'll determine how the length here, because the wider we get, the smaller the aileron's going to get. Might go with something like that. I kind of envision a control horn coming out and being long enough to get and have to go to the outside too. course, the wider they are, I would think that would give me some more, reaction to the rudder's working. Maybe. I don't know. So, all right, guys. Well, I think we're going to call this one a video. I know we didn't get a whole lot done, but I think, let's see, next weekend we will work on, well, those wing hold downs will be dry, so we'll definitely get the wing and the fuselages attached to each other with bolts. So we'll set that all up. And then once that's done, then we can move our way back towards the tail, get the stabilizer, elevator, rudder kind of fine-tuned there. We got a little bit more structure to put into the top of the fuselage for tri-stock on the inside for the stabilizer to glue down to. And then we got to come up with a way to have the elevator split in half. I got some ideas there. So the reason why I went with that 1/4 inch is so I could split the two, shave off 1/8 of an inch off of each side, the thickness, not the width, and put a plywood doubler in there with some screws front and back, so that way when I take the wing off, the fuses come off with the separately. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern time. Thanks for sticking around.